Hey, friendo, Steve here. Say that again, Larson. You froze, I think.
And Larson.
There we go. And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Stephen Larson, available wherever podcasts can be found. Of course, tape live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Stephen Larson, and right here on the YouTube at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. It is the day before the Royale Rumble, the Rumble, and we are going to be talking about Smackdown tonight. I didn't even check the notes. Do we have any news to talk about today?
I mean, there is this, nah, not really.
Yeah, well,
I've been kind of half paying attention to wrestling news today, and nothing really grabbed my attention. So.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
I mean, we got something here to talk about for sure on SmackDown.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in just a second here. Just a second. But first, want to let you guys know that right now, man, this is blowing up the community big time, Larson. The Big Red Friendo's Predictions Challenge. That's right. You could be the digital owner of Big Red. Do you want to be the first friendo to challenge me, Larson, and the Enforcer in predictions and potentially and maybe win? We've gotten basically 50 submissions already.
It's closer to 60 at this juncture.
Closer to 60 now. And what we're doing, we're opening it up to friendos on the Patreon at $5 and up, patreon.com/Stephen Larson, and YouTube channel members. Just hit join. I've also reached out to very generous friendos who have gifted a lot of subs over on the Twitch as well. And so we're opening it up to the friendos to possibly become the new Going In Raw Predictions champion, where if you win, you get to send in a picture of your choice. Doesn't have to be you. It could be you. It could be Larson. It could be me. It could be anybody. It could be, you can go into one of those weird AI art programs and say, Raw Gay Mutant mixed with Malachi Black, and then send whatever it comes up with, and we'll slap a PNG, a Big Red on it, and we'll put it on our social media. We'll put your name on the thing, and I think if you're a Twitch viewer, we'll give you the VIP status for a month, which gets you access to all the emotes and stuff if you're not a sub. And I think it's got a badge or something, so that's cool.
Yeah. I think there is.
I'm really excited for this, man. I think it's really cool. I think the friendos are really into it.
It seems to be the case.
And yeah, so there we go. There we go. Anyways,
there we go.
Yeah. So what was the big thing about SmackDown on the Go Home episode before Royal Rumble you want to talk about, Lars?
So if you remember clearly, if you watched Raw, I know we did, Roman Reigns made it perfectly clear at the conclusion of Sami Zayn's trial to open the show. Sami, stay away from SmackDown. I don't want to see you. I don't want you there.
Yeah.
Stay home. Be at the Rumble on Saturday. I got a test for you. You got to pass this test. You stick around the bloodline. So what is the first thing we see after a recap of the trial of Sami Zayn on SmackDown? We see Sami Zayn in the parking lot outside the arena.
Poorly disguised, mind you. He was simply wearing a hoodie. Yeah, he didn't even try the Marx Brothers, the Groucho glasses, nose, mustache combination.
He didn't go to the merch table and grab one of those Uncle Howdy masks.
He didn't have one of those cardboard boxes like Kip Sabian had.
No, none of that. He just had a hoodie with the hood up, and he took the hood down. And it's like, hey, Jay, it's me. And he again, it's this wrestling trope that actually I find a bit frustrating. It's starting to supplant people fixing the gear while selling is something that annoys me.
Oh, sure, yeah.
We are led to believe that people in the wrestling world don't talk to each other in any way unless the camera's pointing at them.
Yeah.
And it's I simply find it not believable. These people have each other's phone numbers.
Oh, dude, it's a tried and true wrestling convention. If it does, like Warren Beatty said, if it doesn't happen on camera, it doesn't really happen.
There's something to be said for that, but you can hey, there's ways around it. But anyways, he's there. He's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, he's not.
He's like, hey, I just want to be here, Jay, to thank you.
It was a horrifying moment. It really triggered some anxiety. I was like, why are you there? Stop doing that.
Oh, it gets even worse. Yeah. And so Jay's like, hey, no problem. And Sami says, I'll do it. If you need me to do anything for you, Jay, just tell me. I'll do it. And Jay says, all right, but you better get out of here. Go. So Sami leaves, and Usos enter the arena. Later in the evening, the Usos come to confront Kevin Owens. Scrap Daddy at this juncture had already had a rough night.
Oh boy, he was at his wit's end.
Really was. Steps in and says, Usos, out of here, go. And so the Usos kicked out of the arena. So Jay is about to get into their SUV. He gets his phone out. He makes a phone call. This is the time he makes a phone call.
Yeah.
And he calls Sami. He says, are you still in town? I need you to do something for me. And it's a horrible mistake made by Sami to be there. Mm-hmm. It might even be a worse mistake by Jay to call and bring him back to get him involved in the main event tonight.
Yeah.
Because what we saw in the main event was Solo Sikoa getting powerbombed on top of the announce table by Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens blasted with the chair. Kevin Owens' goal for the evening was to eliminate as many members of the Bloodline so they can't get involved in the match at Royal Rumble. A sound strategy if you're facing the Bloodline. And with the Usos getting ejected from the building, Sami getting involved, Sami, his mere presence led to Solo maybe being taken out of the equation for the Rumble.
I think that's the idea. Yeah.
Horrible mistake. Horrible mistake by Jay. Horrible mistake by Sami Zayn.
No, absolutely. He shouldn't have shown up there. You know, I'll forgive the convention in this part because generally speaking, when it comes to certain situations, I'm with you. I'm on board with, man, you're not supposed to. However, this does smack of sort of Sami throughout the week understanding I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then at the last minute, not being able to help himself, booking the ticket and going out there and being like, I'll just see them when I get there. So I kind of like the last minute desperation of the idea that Sami Zayn shows up with a hood and he's like, hey, and Jay's like, why are you here? You're not supposed to be here. For all we know, they were communicating throughout the week, and Jay's saying,
entirely possible.
You're not going to be there, right? No, I'm not going to be there. You're not going to be there, right? No, I'm not going to be there. And then he shows up. That actually kind of makes it funnier. But you're right. It's a wrestling convention that they go to too often. But in this case, I think it kind of worked. Yeah, I mean, we all knew damn well that Sami Zayn was going to be there.
Oh yes,
and we knew he was going to mess up, and he did do that. Luckily for Solo Sikoa, they seemed to rule the end of this contest as a no contest as opposed to like a loss, because he did take a chair to Kevin Owens. The ref didn't seem to do anything about it. There was no bell.
No.
But yeah, it does add some intrigue. There were no further clues as to what the final test of Sami Zayn at the Rumble is going to be. We've heard from friendos in the comments of our YouTube videos, whether it's the predictions video that's available right now at Friendo Club TV YouTube channel, or over the last week or so since the Raw 30. People have been saying in our comments, he's going to make him enter the Rumble at number 1 and he's got to win it. He's going to do this, that, the other. I still have no idea. I think it's still going to be something more manipulative than an impossible task like winning the Rumble.
This is what it's going to be. And I don't know how it's necessarily going to express itself, but right now, Sami isn't loyal to Roman. Sami's loyal to Jay.
Yeah.
Roman can't have that.
And Jay is loyal to Sami.
Yes. So whatever the test in kayfabe may have been Monday night, it's going to be different now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a test of Sami's loyalty and where it really lies. Is it with Roman or is it with Jay?
Mm-hmm.
And if he finds that it's with Jay, Sami is getting the shit beat out of him next week on SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm at a loss. I really am. I mean, if it was... If it was me, there would be some sort of manipulation between Sami and Jay, because Jay right now is not under Roman's thumb. He's running wild, and him and Sami have developed a closer bond than Roman wants between them. Yep. And so there's going to be some amount of Jay being forced to turn it on to Sami, but I think more likely Sami being forced to do something to Jay. I don't know. I mean, Roman had them hash it out in the ring before. Mm-hmm. And now that they're buds, now they rely on each other as part of this family. I don't know what the situation is going to be, but gosh darn, it's going to be pretty darn compelling at the Rumble tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. As far as the actual go home of SmackDown, that they set some Rumble stuff up. We had a match between Karrion Kross and Rey Mysterio. Mysterio was able to get the better of Kross and sort of, was it a roll up that he hit?
Yeah, probably? It was a crucifix pin. Yeah,
it was a crucifix pin. Yeah, I love those. They're my favorite roll ups. he was able to hit that as a surprise. So, we're probably going to see some of that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
There's still plenty of people who haven't. There are plenty of open spots. I don't know do you know the exact number of open spots?
Yeah, so this is according to Wikipedia. We had a bunch of people declare for the Rumble tonight. I'll just summarize them now. Brock confirmed for Rumble, as are The Miz, Xavier Woods, Xia Li, Lacey Evans. They all declared for the Rumble tonight. So according to Wikipedia, current count is 19 confirmed for the Men's Rumble, 11 for the Women's Rumble.
Only 11 for the Women's Rumble. That has, as you noted in the predictions video, the Women's Rumble really has had not a significant build to it with many stories coming in and out of it, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to point this out. We got 303 friendos watching on the YouTube with 63 likes. Let's try to get that up to 200. If we get up to 200, we'll call Paul in and he'll give his thoughts on tonight's show and how what he's thinking headed into the Rumble, because there's a lot of question marks.
There are.
So I don't know, what else stood out to you on tonight's episode of SmackDown?
Speaking of Lacey Evans, we thought that she was going to, make her return at the Rumble.
Yeah.
No. She came back tonight.
Yes.
Definitely a heel.
Absolutely a heel. Yeah.
She got a win over Jasmine Allure.
Jasmine Allure.
And she had a promo afterwards saying that she was going to win the Rumble. Don't think she is, but I'm kind of surprised they just didn't have her return tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of an oddball situation with the SmackDown Tag Title #1 Contendership Tournament.
Yeah.
So, of course, scheduled tonight was Hit Row versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. They were very excited about this match. They were chopping the shit out of each other during an interview prior to it because they were so excited. During their entrance, they're attacked by the Viking Raiders, who they've had a thing with now for a little while. And instead of proceeding with the match to get their tag titles, look, these guys, between the two of them, and won plenty of gold. Maybe they're thinking, maybe we don't need the tag titles. Doesn't interest us. Because they decided instead to just go run after the Viking Raiders backstage. Pierce, Adam Pierce, Scrap Daddy, was like, Hit Row, you don't just get a bye. You're going to have to take on somebody. Luckily for you, I just have people waiting in the back to be a tag team.
I got to take issue with Scrap Daddy on this one.
Okay, how about
it? So like the last two times someone has been injured during a match, what does he say to the team that featured an injured member? If the two people that are supposed to be in this match can't compete, you got to forfeit. I know a match is underway, but nonetheless, someone is getting a pass to the next round if what Scrap Daddy says were to happen. If Dom had to fill in for Finn, yes, I know. If Dom had to fill in for Finn, Judgment Day wouldn't have won that gauntlet match.
Well, Larson, for the audio crowd that can't see what I'm holding.
If Sami hadn't filled in for Jimmy, Usos would have lost that match and their titles to Judgment Day. You're holding the official WWE rule book, which, if you've seen it, is just a sketch pad. But I'm just saying, they made such a deal about the continuity from Judgment Day's match to the Uso match, and then they just kind of went the opposite direction here a bit.
Well, I choose to look at it like this, because these days I'm a WWE sweaty, Larson.
You are.
This is what I'm thinking. Scrap Daddy's thinking to himself, you know what? There's been 2 instances that a tag team match in an important segment has been potentially compromised. You know what I need to do? I need to find a backup tag team that's at the ready in case another one of these matches is nearly compromised, because I got to fill time somehow. So he contacts Braun and his floppy, flippy bag your groceries at Kroger tag team partner Ricochet and says, hey guys, do you want to stand by in case this happens again? And then they're like, hands. And then they did it. So that's what I like to think. Scrap Daddy, forward thinking.
Yeah, but I mean,
Maggie here in chat says, I believe the amendment you're looking for is on page 42, line 23, under the sketch of Bruno Sammartino. Exactly.
I mean, what the precedent he did set with the Judgment Day Uso situation was so outside of the norm in terms of, we've seen instances where one member of a tag team gets hurt. And if one person is deemed unable to compete, what they do? They just cancel the match.
That's no fun, though. The people paid a bunch of money. There'd be like no matches tonight if that was the case, man.
Oh, we didn't really get a main event. The record books tonight on SmackDown. No contest.
I know. Could you imagine if we also didn't get that tag team tournament match? My goodness gracious. We just have Hit Row doing like a 12-minute cipher or rap or whatever.
I just want a little consistency here.
Oh, dude, again, may I point out something you like to point out?
This is a new administration. This is a Triple H era.
No, I think there is something to be said about my point, though. I'll be honest with you. The 2 times now in this tournament, or in both brands, that matches have been compromised, have a backup ready to go. I think this is a smart move on his part.
Nah.
Yeah.
I had channel points on Hit Row.
I think it actually kind of makes sense, to be honest with you.
Nah.
Anyways, so let's just go ahead and dive into it, and we'll pick some points up along the way.
Do it. So it
can't wait to talk about LA Knight, man.
Oh, of course. Oh man, highlight of the show. Maybe. So SmackDown starts with the recap of trial of Sami Zayn. At the end, Roman finds Sami not guilty for now. So we're in the parking lot. SUV pulls up. Usos get out with Solo. Sami comes out of the production truck, actually, with his hoodie on. Hey. And Jay comes over, and he says, I just want to tell you what you did on Monday. I won't forget it. It meant the world to me. If you need anything ever, I got you. So they shake hands, and Jay's like, get out of here. Go. And then Jay catches up with the rest of the Usos. And we have our first match, Karrion Kross versus Rey Mysterio. This has kind of been a lukewarm on and off feud for a few weeks. They finally had a match, and Rey wins with surprise roll-up. Which just is obvious. Hey, we're going to continue this. I imagine they'll have some interaction at the Rumble. Heck, maybe Karrion will beat up Rey enough so Dom can eliminate his dad.
I think that's probably a pretty cool story beat. Hopefully Shane McMahon doesn't show up and rewrite everything to eliminate all the stories that they're building up to the Rumble.
I know.
Good Lord. Remember how many different stories? Last year's Rumble, they actually did a decent job of setting up a lot of stories for the Rumble. None of them. None of them. But we got the little dances. Anyways, it's like
give me the Uncle Howdy dance instead.
Uncle Howdy dance. And he points to the ring. Oh man. Anyways, fun
bout though. It was a fun bout, but
it was
Kross hits a Northern Light suplex, looking for another one. Ray just hits it with a crucifix pin to get the win.
Yeah. After that, A-Town down. Austin Theory comes down to the ring, strutting his stuff, according to the notes by Chris Garrix. Thank you, Chris, for the short notice doing the SmackDown notes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
He says, and Chris mentions here in the notes, commentary mentions it's Rumble season, so anybody can show up, explaining Austin Theory being there, given that it's not Raw.
He's a Raw star, yes, Raw superstar.
Before he says anything, though, we get a WWE digital exclusive with Bayley saying how confident they all feel. Damage Control joining the Rumble tomorrow after what they did to Becky. Dakota says when all three get together, we're going to take everybody out. And Io says we're going to show you who runs the WWE.
I guess there's the 3 more people that have declared for the Rumble then, too.
Oh, Damage Control?
Yeah, I don't think they were officially entrants prior to today.
Oh, yeah, no, they just said that in the thing here.
Yeah, there we go. It's added to there. Yes, 3 more.
So then Theory gets on the mic and he says, I'm going to fight John Cena at WrestleMania. No, I'm joking.
No, he says the champ is here.
The champ is here. And he gives it the Cena inflection where he says, here, here.
Yeah.
Hooah. He says, not only did I retain my U.S. title this past Monday, but now I'm going straight to the Royal Rumble, and Mr. All Day, Austin Theory, will win the Royal Rumble. So that brings out the New Day. They come out. He says, hold up. Austin Theory, no. There's only 3 Austins I respect. This is Kofi speaking. He says Austin Creed, who's right next to him. He says Stone Cold Steve, and the city in this great state of Texas. And then Wood says, we know you're used to 3 hours, but here on the Efficient Show, we have to get to business immediately. They get in the ring. Kofi says, hold up, Mr. All Day. Did I say you're going to win? And they start chuckling at him. And they say, but if not Austin Theory, then who? They said it would be Xavier Woods and Kofi, the New Day, but one of us win, we all wins. Big E too. And then Theory retorts, that's what you think? You walk out here and interrupt me? I'm the biggest star there is in WWE. That brings out the Miz, Larson.
Oh, the Miz comes out and goes, biggest star? Let me explain, Theory. I've been in Rumbles before you hit puberty. And Theory says, well, that just means you're old. And Miz says, I'm older, wiser, smarter than you'll ever be. And on Sunday, I'll win the one thing I haven't, and that's the Rumble. There's nothing more dangerous than something on my shoulder, and he audibly, visually laughs. Miz laughs.
he fucked up. He fucked up his line, and him and the New Day started cracking up about it. I loved this moment. It was a nice little moment of reality here.
It was. He says, let me educate you what happens tomorrow. And then a huge brawl breaks out. And then Lashley comes to the ring. He takes out everybody, destroys Theory with the spear, grabs the mic, says, since Lesnar interrupted my match, I'm going to terrorize everybody in this ring. Brock, with his new hat that he seems to really like with the feather in it.
It's got a feather in it. I got a snake in my boot.
Jumps over the barricade, gets in the ring, hits Lashley with an F5. He grabs the mic and says, I'll see you tomorrow. He's in the Rumble.
So Lesnar's in the Rumble. Yeah. Backstage, we got a couple shots of Owens solo taping up. Smackdown rolls on. Then we get Rhea Ripley in a digital exclusive. Says, Mommy is here. I'm ready for the Rumble. I've come extremely close before, but 2023 is the year of Mommy, the year of Rhea Ripley. I'm going to punch my golden ticket to WrestleMania. And then Lacey Evans. It's time for a Lacey Evans match. She comes out. She's got camo gear. She's a Marine. She uses the camel clutch. That's what I've gathered from her
Cobra
videos.
clutch.
The Cobra clutch. That's right. The Cobra clutch. Yeah, anyways. So we get Lacey Evans versus Jasmine Allure, who's appeared on AEW Dark and Elevation. Of course, and Jasmine Allure, the shocking upset here, beats Lacey Evans, Larson.
No, the exact opposite happened, actually. It was a woman's right, Cobra clutch. Lacey Evans gets the win. It wasn't competitive really at all. Afterwards, Lacey grabs the mic, drops a promo, says, Little Miss Loser Laredo just learned the Cobra clutch is unbreakable. Is she going to do like a Chris Masters gimmick with like he had the full Nelson? Is she going to do that with Cobra clutch?
I will be honest with you. That'd be kind of cool because I don't know if we've seen that in WWE with like the women's division.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that. Give her something. That's fine.
She continues, y'all sound so mad. You're going to be mad tomorrow when I take this arm and lock it around 29 of the women and toss them on their feet where they belong. Everyone get off your butt and salute your soon-to-be Royal Rumble winner. And then she picks up Jasmine Allure and throws her out of the ring.
So Jasmine Allure is officially eliminated from the Royal Rumble. Yeah. Backstage, we got Sheamus and Drew, formerly known as the Banger Brothers, evidently. Here's some news for you.
I'm honestly surprised it took them that long to catch on.
I figured it'd be another month, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're so slow. They are so slow. Anyway, so yeah, they're not going to be the Banger Brothers anymore because it's the porno thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the shocking one was the what was it, the submission sorority?
Yeah,
because that's such a unique thing. Like, how did they not know? And then
apparently, I guess history has told us that when they decide to use a name, they don't Google it before they start using it.
I know, but
or file the trademark.
It's not like submission sorority even really rolls. It doesn't seem like an obvious thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I was like, really? And then somebody came up with that. I'm telling you, man, some of these writers, they know, and they send it up the ladder.
They try to see what they can get through.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be.
Yeah. Like everybody knows the Bang Brothers. Anyways, oh man. Drew says, huge night tonight and tomorrow, but it's your birthday, mate. Got a feeling the winner is going to be Sheamus. And then Sheamus shouts back, you've been on a hell of a roll since you came back. My money's on you, Drew. And chopping each other. Every line they have. They go back and forth. Kayla mentions the tag match, which gets them to stop slapping each other. And Sheamus says, we're going to send Hit Row back to Skid Row because we put on banger after banger after banger.
Yeah. And then we were going to have that match. Banger Bros versus Hit Row. However, during Drew and Sheamus's entrance, they get attacked by by Viking Raiders. Apologies. Ivar completely destroys Sheamus with a fun splash against the barricade.
So I'll reiterate
fantastic.
What I said during the live stream. So when we're doing a live stream and you're slightly ahead of me, your reactions are more statements of description. So Brock Lesnar jumps the barricade. Larson doesn't go, and we all know this about you. Larson doesn't go, whoa! You say, there's Brock Lesnar, right?
Rey Mysterio wins. There's Brock Lesnar.
That was a little too much emotion right there.
Oh, anyways, there's Brock Lesnar. Is that better?
the way I know something is really fucking cool is when you go, oh God.
I think with this one I went, oh.
Yeah. When you actually react to something, then I'm like, oh, this is going to be really cool. And this was really cool because these fun splashes into the barricade were pretty gnarly, man. I really like these.
They were. They were pretty great. They were pretty great. So we go to commercial and we're like, okay, is this match going to happen or no? We come back, and during commercial, apparently, after the Viking Raiders got tired of beating the heck out of Drew and Sheamus, they go backstage. So Drew and Sheamus are on their feet. It's not like they need help to get to the back.
No, they're fine.
They're fine. So Drew says, let's go get the Viking Raiders. And Sheamus for a second is like, we match for tag titles. And Drew's like, let's get Viking Raiders. I'm not going to stand for this. And then they go backstage. And then, so Hit Row, they're in the ring. And they are assuming, based on precedent over the last 2 weeks, their competition is not going to be there. Therefore, they win. Instead, Adam Pearce comes to the ring and says, I saw it happen. They get up their shot voluntarily. They voluntarily forfeited the match.
Yeah.
But Pearce says no one gets a free pass. Everyone competes, and you will face a replacement team, and that replacement team is Braun and Ricochet.
Yeah. I'm okay with this, man. I'll be honest with you. I think it's
when the other team forfeits, they don't call in another team to take over to play that softball game.
Look, here's the thing. If you are under the employee or under the game's management, and he's like, and I don't have a very good Triple H impression, but let's say, for example,
don't sell yourself short, Steve.
You're like, well, I got these vocal cord issues these days. He's like, hey Larson,
pretty good.
Why didn't you just, we have another tag team waiting around back here. They're in catering. They're ready to go. And they've in fact told you, hey, if you need us, we're available. Why didn't you use them to put on a hell of a show in front of this crowd? Braun and Ricochet, both decorated. Why didn't you do that? You just instead said, no, we're not going to have a match. Now we're waiting to fill 20 minutes, 18 minutes of TV time.
Because I have 200 channel points on Hit Row picking up that upset win. That's why.
What the hell are channel points? That's what
it enriches me, not financially, no cash value.
No, they're just entertainment.
But it enriches my life because I want to get more channel points than Steve.
Right.
That's the deal here.
What's his name though? Fat John Cena.
Oh yeah, I have to say that Triple H is true.
Hey, true story. Last night, I was at the bar, and they hired a new bar back, and he introduced himself to me. And he says, you look familiar. You look like a movie star that I can't think of. And I said, I look like Fat John Cena. And he laughed and he said, that's it. True story. After this. So yeah, we had that match, Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Ricochet got his ass handed to him most of this match. Braun Strowman came in, hands. Hit Adonis with a fucking giant power bomb.
Yeah. I will say that Braun and Ricochet make a fun team.
They do. They do make for a very, very fun team.
And hats off to Triple H and WB Creative for seeing Braun put out one of those tweets he puts out from time to time that gets him with a bunch of hot water. and seeing that, we're like, idea. Let's put him with the guy that does all the flips.
I wonder if Triple H screenshotted the text and sent it to like Ricochet or someone who's like, I got an idea.
Meet your new partner.
Meet your new partner. And then Ricochet's like, wait, I got to get a job at Kroger's. So anyways, Kayla's backstage with Kevin Owens asking him about facing Solo Sikoa tonight. He says, Kayla, I'm doing this tonight, so tomorrow I could be champion. I want to right a wrong that happened the last 2 years ago. He said, that title was mine, but the Bloodline did everything to prevent that. What makes tomorrow any different? That's why I need to take them out. And then the Usos walk up, and they're like, you're not doing shit. And they start jawing at each other. Pierce Quantum leaps in and breaks them up and then throws the Usos out. We go to commercial, and Owens is like, hey, where's Roman? So we come back from commercial. I'm still getting my tea. You saw this part, so you can speak on it, Larson.
So mentioned it earlier. Usos go in their SUV. Jimmy gets in. Jay's about to, gets his phone, makes a phone call, and says, he's still in town. Could use your help. We know it's Sami.
Yeah.
And I'm staring like, no!
Don't do it.
What are you
Don't
doing?
Do it. Don't
do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. So then we're back inside the arena. This part was great. Bray Wyatt's old music, his original theme, his original main roster theme starts playing. And so it's all, the arena's dark and they got all the fireflies up on the Tron and such. And you see an individual with the hat, with the Hawaiian shirt, with a little lantern.
A tiny lantern.
A tiny lantern. As they emerge from the darkness, you realize this isn't Bray Wyatt. This is L.A. Knight.
My favorite part of the live stream was when he said, wouldn't it be funny if that was L.A. Knight? And then I looked harder and I said, holy shit, it is L.A. Knight. It's hilarious.
It was pretty great.
That was awesome.
So he walks to the ring. He does the thing with the lantern. He blows it out, but this lantern is like 4 inches high or
super
something like
tiny.
Yeah. It's super tiny. And he says, I might as well take this crap off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hold on.
Let me talk to you.
Come on. Let me do that.
All right, fine. Go ahead.
I love doing this. Do you want to do the LA Knight? You can do
fine.
that.
Go ahead.
He says, the biggest moment in Raw history happened when I walked the ring, LA Knight. Yeah. I heard you all cheer for me, and being the benevolent man I am, I gave you what you want, even if you don't deserve it. Like a turd in a punch bowl, Taker came out to help Bray Wyatt. And why? Because neither wanted this guy one-on-one. Yeah. The crowd's chanting along, yeah. You got it exactly right. This guy just gets himself over regardless. He says, Bray Wyatt, you got 24 hours until the pitch black Mountain Dew match. Take all the advice Taker whispered in your ear and whatever version tingles your loins, because your dumpy ass ain't coming back when the lights go black. Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't use the phrase, I'm going to off your on switch.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Turd to punch bowl's good, though.
Yeah.
So then Bray appears in a rocking chair on the ramp. And he says, I see you're making jokes, but we know you ain't smiling on the inside, but it doesn't matter. The time for talking is come and gone. Tomorrow night, you will finally meet the man you've been looking for. He says, so take your time, laugh it up, because tomorrow when the lights go out, you'll see. And then up in the stands, in one of the corridors leading into the arena, bright light, the silhouette.
It's Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howdy.
Yep. I believe that was Uncle Howdy.
Yes, I believe that as well.
Yeah. So anyways, after that, we had more tag team tournament action. Legado del Fantasma versus Imperium. Really fantastic stuff here.
Yeah, it was really fun match. Really fun
And
match.
these guys, they've just got terrific chemistry, man.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. A lot of great sequences. Down towards the finish, Vinci does a press slam off the top on Wild, I believe. And he gets up selling knee. And I'm like, okay, is this part of the story? Because he goes and tags in Kaiser. And I was like, okay, is this part of the story? Because maybe Legato's getting the win. I had channel points on Legato, too.
You're going to be banned from doing channel point bets, man.
Why?
Because
I don't cheat like some of us
here. Now you're just basing your entire review on you winning or not winning channel points.
Well, I mean, it didn't end up apparently being a story beat, because what happened is Kaiser tags in and he's like giving Vinci a little bit.
Yeah.
He's kind of pretty into the crowd, posing a little bit, and then Vinci gets up, kind of gives a nod to Kaiser, and they hit their finish to get the win.
You think it's because of the knee, though, right?
Yeah, because they showed a replay of the power slam, and when he did it, he landed like his right knee landed first and took most of the impact.
Yeah.
And I imagine that probably hurt a lot.
Yeah, so it's probably just like, okay, make sure, because he's got to do the thing where
make sure that, like, hey, is my knee jacked up? No, okay, let's go.
Yeah, right. Because Vinci has him on his shoulders for the thing, right?
Yeah, he's one picking him up for the power.
He puts him up, yeah. So anyways, Imperium poses in the ring, as commentary mentions. Santos and Gunther aren't there because they're prepping for the Rumble. Santos and Gunther in the Rumble. I think we knew that about. No, we knew that about both of them already. Yeah,
we did.
So we get a video package. The best thing, not really, but they do it every year. They do Rumble by the numbers. So we had that too. The interesting number this year: 2.5% of competitors have won the Rumble.
Yeah,
I guess that's the.
It was 1,250 competitors.
Okay, so you add that up.
32 have won,
and that's 2.5% right there.
What's
that? Yeah, you add up all the competitors.
Yes.
And then you take all the winners.
Yeah, you divide the winners by the number of competitors, and that's how you get 2.5%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you didn't interrupt me.
I thought you were saying add 1,250 and 32, and that will get you 2.5%.
Why would I think that?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. Imperium, we already got that part. Kevin Owens is taping up and walking backstage, as is because he got Solo Sikoa up next. But first, Xia Li is backstage. She does a promo about the Rumble. They also mentioned Charlotte being on the Ryan Satin podcast, where Sonya Deville apparently stumbles upon his studio and starts some shit. And then Pierce is backstage with Charlotte, and he's upset about Sonya because Fox, apparently the network's not too happy about Sonya showing up on Ryan Satin's podcast. And she's like, I'm fed up with everything and how annoying Sonya has been. And then Pierce is like, yeah, man, I agree with that. She's like, so I'm going to give Sonya that title match because she's so annoying. And he's like, wait, you don't have to do that. And she's like, yeah, no, I want to do that. And then they're like, okay, cool, we'll do it next week. And then they high five.
Yeah. Yep. And then we got our main event, Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. It's a really fun bout. These two dudes got really good chemistry. And then, but down towards the finish, Solo gets hit with a frog splash. Owens gets a 2 there. Owens hits a super kick. Solo responds with one himself. Owens looks for a stunner, misses. Solo hits a Samoan drop, gets a 2. Solo misses a splash, eats a pair of super kicks and a cannonball in the corner. Owens follows with a swanton, covers. That's when Sami shows up to pull Solo out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So Owens follows, and he's staring at Sami. And Solo's priming for a super kick behind Owens. Owens evades it, super kicks Sami.
Yeah,
Solo does.
Big mess.
So then Owens sends Solo into the ring steps. He clears off the announce table. Solo sends Owens into the ring post and then gets a chair. He hits Owens with it and lays him on the table. Sami's down this whole time. So Solo is setting up for that same spot he put Owens to the table with like last week on SmackDown.
Right.
The splash off the barricade. Owens gets up, super kicks Solo, then hits a pop-up powerbomb onto the table. He grabs the chair, stares over towards Sami, holding the chair like he might hit him. Instead, turns, hits Solo, and he throws the chair down in front of Sami. And he says, Roman, tomorrow night, I'm bringing everything I've got.
Yeah. So Kevin Owens stood tall. He's going to lose to Roman tomorrow.
Oh, Roman's totally going to win anyways.
Yeah.
Roman could have stood tall. He literally could have stood on top of Kevin Owens to end the show tonight.
And
Roman is still going to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways. So let's go ahead and answer some questions. If you're in the YouTube chat, I noticed this too. Earlier, somebody had said the Shockmaster don't interrupt. I don't know what that means. But the chat just stopped on YouTube. Like weird. Everybody's being really quiet. And then Heather here in chat says, where did all the chat go? Are we all lurking? If you have questions in YouTube, load them up.
Yes,
Twitch
please.
Chat, highlight your questions. We also have a thread here on the Patreon, patreon.com/Stephen Larson. We're going to kick it off with the yellow flash. Says, how hot is Sami's seat at this moment? Oh, man.
Surface of the sun.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Surface of the sun.
Yeah, dude.
Alex Foster, if we do get some people from the Forbidden Door in the Rumble, what interactions would you like to see? Alex says, I'd love to see Cena and Tanahashi standoff. That'd be cool. I do not anticipate any Forbidden Door entrance, though.
Well, if the question is if they happened, number one, that'd be awesome. Give me Kenny and Seth.
That'd be cool.
Kenny and Finn. Kenny, cool AJ, too. And Finn.
AJ's got a broken ankle, though.
Well, if we're talking Forbidden Door, why don't we throw in AJ's broken ankle while we're in it, man?
All right, fine. Patrick Kennedy says, I don't know how often you guys check your Patreon direct message, but I sent you a guy's question about tomorrow's Rumble's picks that I don't know if you saw. Oh, I think I saw that. Patrick was talking about tiebreakers in the event of a tiebreaker.
I'd be kind of surprised, given especially we've got the what number are the picks going to come out. I'd be kind of surprised. Look, here's the thing. This Big Red Channel predictions thing, it's a new endeavor we're doing. So it's going to be a process.
Indeed. And if we find out like 10 people end up being tied for first, then we'll make adjustments as necessary.
Yeah. We'll round those 10 people up and then we'll do something. I don't know. We'll put them in a fight pit. I don't know.
Oh, anyways,
wow. Yeah, exactly. It gets pretty heavy around here, man. Blake Whitehouse says, do you think Vince did a better job of booking the women's division as last year than Triple H has done so far? No, because we had like endless rematches and like there was a lot of women that were released and we didn't even see on TV for the longest time.
Yeah, the booking in the women's division has not been stellar of late. Let me just look at the build to the Women's Rumble. It's been pretty subpar.
Let me ask you this. Would you, because the cage match debacle on Monday was so glaring, would that sentiment be on your mind had that had gone off and was a killer match? Or did that put a spotlight on something that might have already been percolating?
I think it puts a spotlight on something that was percolating. I know, and Raw, they've done a better job of it. And someone here who says, chat, it's a question itself. Said the SmackDown women's division has not been that fantastic of late in terms of the booking of it.
That's kind of been an ongoing thing with SmackDown's women's division. It hasn't been,
But yeah, I mean, the fact that they canceled the cage match when it should have been one of the segments the show was built around really just put a spotlight on the whole thing.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. Easy question, Larson. Cole Cruz here on Patreon wants to know, what do you think LA Knight's ceiling is in WWE?
Beating Roman Reigns.
It's Bruno. Bruno. Look at Bruno Sammartino. That's the ceiling. Yeah, forever champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, the opening thing, the then, now, forever. So all that footage is all LA Knight?
Yeah.
And then him saying, then, now, forever, LA Knight, yeah. It's just it's not then, now, forever. It's LA Knight.
Yeah. L.A. Knight.
Dun, 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 dun,
They just changed that whole thing to his theme.
Hey. LA Knight. Boo.
Yeah.
Dave Matushek says, since Braun and Ricochet are teaming up, what other kind of social media beef should WWE do so they can connect the participants involved and see their differences? I'm trying to think who has beef on social media.
Yeah.
Rhonda and a random WWE fan, because she seems to have an issue with WWE fans.
True.
That's true. You do an angle, you bring in like somebody from the Performance Center, and you debut on main roster as a Ronda Rousey heckler, and then like at some point she jumps the barricade. They have a feud. Yeah. They have a feud, and then can they coexist thing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Over here on Twitch, White Brownie asks, who would you say stood tall tonight between Bray and LA Knight?
I mean, one of these guys openly mocked the other guy, and the other guy, I can't even remember what he said.
He said, you're going to see who you wanted to see tomorrow, essentially.
Yeah. Well, that's
LA Knight stood tall.
That's LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
He trolled the entire audience and us.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that was awesome. Of course, LA Knight stood tall. It's his game.
It is his game.
Yeah.
It's not insults. It's a fact of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mondo says, when is the earliest you could see Roman turning face? And do you think it could be a while that he's still champion? I think it's going to be a while that he's still a universal champion. Seems to be they wanted to bring somebody in for Roman to beat, whether it's The Rock or whatever else. So I think that means he's still part of the plan for this story is him to remain universal champion leaving WrestleMania.
Yeah. Maybe they really want that 1,000-day reign.
I think they should do that, to be honest with you. Make this huge. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility they split that WWE championship off from him.
Yeah.
He's only had, he's had the Cena tag match. He's had Logan Paul, and before that it was Clash. I think that's been his only matches over the past, since Clash, which was in September. So they need a top title for Raw. They're probably going to split it off from him before Mania. Maybe they'll do a thing at Elimination Chamber. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Straw Hat Jose here on Twitch asks, will there ever be another wrestler to win the Rumble 3 times like Stone Cold? Yeah. L.A. Knight.
It's going to be either LA Knight or Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Uncle Howdy to win the Rumble this year. Oh, man. That's what I might do. My official picks might just be completely ridiculous.
There you go. They're throwing stuff at the wall, Steve. See what sticks.
Why not?
LA Knight wins every match.
Yeah, exactly. Who wins the Women's Rumble? LA Knight. It's my game. Mondo says, I'm sorry. Joey Two Dimes says, with Lashley and Brock feuding and Lashley likely coming out on top. Oh, I hope that's the case, Joey Two Dimes.
Oh, heck yeah.
How many losses can Brock take before beating him isn't as meaningful? What a great question. Does he sort of turn into like The Undertaker once the streak was broken and then it was like, because what was it? It was Brock was the next year what? The next year was Bray, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he beat Bray.
He beat Bray.
And then so that was 31. He destroyed Cena at 32 and not like an official match.
Yeah, that was a goof match. But then he lost to Roman at 33.
33, yeah.
And then didn't he take like a year off or something like that? So, look, you know what? If Lashley beats Brock, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's rarefied air.
Yeah,
and they need to make sure that it's rarefied air. I think it's going to be a couple of years. I think that they'll probably still have him beat plenty of people whenever he comes in, and then they'll save the big ones. You know, maybe if they accomplish what they want to accomplish with Austin Theory, maybe in 3 years, or 2 years, Austin Theory, or maybe even next year. 12 months is a long time. Maybe
honestly, why wait a year to try to accomplish whatever you do with Austin Theory? We can have LA Knight beat Brock now.
Okay, dude. It's like I keep on lobbing these fucking alley-oops to you, man. This year it's Lashley. Next year it's LA Knight. Whose game is it? Yeah.
LA Knight's game, of course. He says it. How can you not believe it?
Brock, get your dumpy cowboy ass out here. Yeah. Alyssa Leggett here with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Alyssa. She says LA Knight should win all the titles ever. He is just brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose game is it, Alyssa? It's LA Knights.
A couple new members, Pavon and Ryan here. New members here on YouTube. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Big Country with the super chat says 32 likes. Those are rookie numbers. We're up to 156 now.
That ain't going to get the job done, man. It's not going to get the job done. Jack Bauer here, Saving LA, asks, when will they turn Montez into a singles star? He's destined for main event scene in 2 to 3 years. This is what I say you do. You put the Street Profits in the Hurt Business. And then you do the thing where Montez he starts feuding with Lashley in a year, and that's how you break him off. He wants to take over the Hurt Business. But then also LA Knight joins the Hurt Business, and he takes over the Hurt Business for real.
Yeah. Big Country with another super chat says, do you think Braun will ever be champion again? I don't think it's likely in the near future, but you know, he's still relatively popular. Can't discount it entirely, especially if they split the titles.
I think no, if Triple H stays in charge. Yes, if Vince comes back to run creative. But man, with that Raw rating, I don't know, man. I don't know how Vince could justify that shit. I mean, it's Vince. I know he can't.
Yeah, he will try to justify it, but I know what you mean.
I'd like to think that there's some element of Vince who's like, you know what? My legacy is what it is. I don't want to come back and like ruin it.
Bear Planet Houston here says, what will Sammy's punishment be for showing up to SmackDown?
Dude, the bottom line, he's got a test of some sort to pass tomorrow.
Yep. He's got to prove his loyalty is to Roman and nobody else.
Yeah.
And if he can't do that, Solo's going to get him.
Yep. Yeah. So anyways.
168 likes. We're close.
That's 32 away, man. That's a long way away. Do we have any other questions?
That's all I got.
Well, okay.
So again, if we still got do some quick math here, about 16 hours from right now. It's about 8 o'clock Pacific time, Friday night, to get your picks in for the Rumble Digital Big Red Challenge.
If you're a new member, this is what you do. If you're a new member, you go on our channel, youtube.com/Steven Larson. You go to the community tab or the membership tab, either one. You go down to where I put the giant graphic. It says live now. It's a picture of our dumb faces, and it's the Friendo Big Red Prediction Challenge. And you leave, you look at the instructions there, and we've got everything that you need to fill out. All the matches and then all the bonus points. You just copy that, post it in a comment, and then fill everything out. Your confidence points, who you think's going to win, and then all the bonus point answers. And then, it might not show up immediately, but that's just 'cause we got to apparently approve the comments for some reason. So
now that we know they're there, then at least if we know they're there, we could track everything. So it's not a huge deal.
Right, exactly. So there you go. Anyways, you know what? 175 is close enough. Let's bring Triple H in. He's waiting. Here we go.
He's eager, if you will.
Hello, hi. This is Paul Levesque, Triple H, the game. Let's get ready to suck it. I noticed that you guys failed at getting to 200 likes. I'm very disappointed in both you, Steve, and Fat John Cena.
We tried our best, but, I think a lot of us are really excited for the Rumble tomorrow. Like, really excited. And so, what better way to kind of get into the Rumble mood than to have you, Triple H, on to say hello and maybe give us a scoop or two of what we can expect for the Rumble tomorrow.
All right, you want scoops?
Yeah.
Here's scoops. We've got a lot of empty entries left on the Royal Rumble. Raw 30 full penetration was a massive success, and it's all due to Degeneration X.
Oh, gosh.
So here's the deal. The Road Dogg, Jesse James, Kurt Angle, X-Pac, The Game, Triple H, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, are all showing up at the Royal Rumble. They're going to be entries in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, they're going to actually be in the Rumble.
They're going to be in the Rumble. Heartbreak Kid goes over. He's my best friend. He's doing a great job over there at NXT. He's got Sol Ruca over there at NXT. She's phenomenal. She's going to be great.
Yeah, she is. She is great. She is great. So the Shawn Michaels is going to win his third Rumble, huh?
That's right. He's won. Yeah, he won in 95.
Rarefied air.
Well, don't interrupt.
Sorry.
He won in 90. Don't interrupt. Even with an apology, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt in a normal conversation. You do it. You just did it again for a second time, and I feel like you're just trolling me at this point. You're like LA Knight. They're trolling Bray Wyatt. How'd you guys like that LA Knight trolling Bray Wyatt? I love LA Knight. LA Knight. He's great. Here's a scoop for you. He's going to beat Roman for all the titles. That's right. We were going to split the titles. Don't interrupt. We were going to split the titles. But I'm like, why are we going to split him when obviously LA Knight needs to have all the titles, all of them at once?
I know.
That's what we got to do. Hey, listen, YouTube, stop being stingy with your likes. Drop. All we need is 16 more likes.
15 now.
50. Oh, look at that. We just got one more. Yeah. So anyways, Heartbreak Kid's going to win the third Rumble that he's ever won. And then also on top of that, he's going to say, you know what? I'm too old. I'm retired. So he's going to gift it to the one person who really deserves to win the Rumble, LA Knight.
Oh,
That's
good,
right.
Good. Before we continue, I want to say thank you. We got some Beyblades.
Oh, yeah. Well, I figured what better way to entice you guys to buy 150 Beyblades. 50 from you, 50 from that piece of shit, the Enforcer, and 50 from Fat John Cena. You guys all need to buy 50 Beyblades each now that I've comped you one each. They're a lot of fun. I know two of you have kids somehow. Somebody decided to procreate with you guys. And so you can buy them for your kids. Enforcer, he's a giant dumb kid himself. And so he can just buy 50 for himself because he sits there and he plays with his toys anyways.
Hey, look at that. We got our 200 likes, Triple H.
All right, I did my job. Hey, everybody, suck it.
How'd that go?
That's all right.
No, it went good. You got any good scoops?
Apparently Shawn Michaels is winning the Rumble tomorrow.
Holy shit.
But then
is he gonna forfeit the Rumble victory and hand it over to LA Knight?
That's exactly what he said, Steve. It's funny you would know that.
Wow. Well, it seemed to. Come on. It seems obvious. That's how I would book it. Seems great. Do we get
we got 200 likes. We're good.
Okay, we got our 200 likes. Awesome. So we can call it a night. Thanks, everybody. We can call it an LA night.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We appreciate it. And until next time, we'll talk to you later. Whose game is it?
LA Knight's game. Yeah.